Part 3. Mr. Openshaw left the flat a little while later. Holmes and I sat in silence for a while. Then he lit his pipe and smoked for a few minutes. "This is a strange case, Watson," he said at last. "John Openshaw is in very great danger indeed." "What kind of danger, Holmes?" I asked excitedly. Holmes did not reply my question. "Pass me American Encyclopedia," he said. "I think we shall find out something useful if the volume from the letter K," he told me. "We also have to think about Colonel Openshaw." He said, "Why did he leave America, I wonder? Was he frightened of something? And why did he lead such a solitary life when he arrived here in England? Was he still afraid of something?" He paused for a moment. "What did the envelopes tell us?" he asked me. "Where were the letters sent from, Watson?" "They were sent from Pondicherry, Dundee, and London," I said. "The last one came from East London," he said. "What does that information tell, Watson?" "In their own seaports," I cried excitedly. "The writers on the ship." "Precisely," agreed Holmes. "Now think about this. Colonel Openshaw died 7 weeks after he received the orange pips. His brother died only a few days after he received the pips. How do you explain that, Watson?" "I can't," I admitted. "What does it mean, Holmes?" "The writer sends each letter on the mail boat," Holmes said. "He then takes another boat to come to England. There is always a delay between the arrival of the letter and the death. The reason for this is clear. The mail is a vast steam vessel. The writer of the letters travels on a slow boat, a sailing ship." "Why?" Holmes asked. "The reason for these matters. Colonel Openshaw's papers were very important to the writer of these letters," Holmes said. "I think there is more than one man, Watson. There have been 2 murders, but they're just organization. KKK are not the initials of an individual. They are the sign of an organization, you see. The organization wants Colonel Openshaw's papers, and they will kill to get them." "What organization, Holmes?" Holmes turned the pages of the American Encyclopedia. "The Ku Klux Klan, Watson. It's a secret organization that came into existence after the American Civil War. It had centers in Tennessee, Louisiana, Georgia, and Florida. Colonel Openshaw lived in Florida, you remember. The purpose of the Ku Klux Klan was terrible. They were against giving Black Americans the right to vote. They were very dangerous. They also had this strange tradition, Watson. If they wanted to kill a man, they sent him a warning first. They used oak leaves, melon seeds, or orange pips as the warning. The victim then had a chance to change his ways or to leave the country. The Ku Klux Klan collapsed in 1869. Holmes looked at me closely. "Openshaw came to England in 1869, he reminded me. "I think he was carrying the Ku Klux Klan's papers. That may be the reason the organization's sudden collapse." His diary contains details about the organization's members. They are not safe until they have the diary back. What about the page from the diary? I asked. What does that mean? Repeat what it means, Holmes said. Send the pips to Macaulay, Paramore, and John Swain of St. Augustine. That's the warning, you see? The next entry says Macaulay cleared. That means he ran away. Then there's the final entry, visited Paramore. I expect the visit was a fatal one. The next morning, Holmes and I had breakfast together as is fed. I'm worried about Mr. Openshaw, he told me. I may go to Horsham after all. As he spoke, I picked up the newspaper that was lying on the table. I saw the headline immediately. Holmes, I cried, you're too late. What do you mean? Holmes asked quickly. I passed him with the morning newspaper. Tragedy near Waterloo Bridge. Police Constable Hook was on duty yesterday evening near Waterloo Bridge. He heard a cry for help, and then a splash in the water. It was a very dark night, and the weather was bad. The constable could not rescue the man. The water police found the body of the young man in the river. The man was John Openshaw of Horsham. Police believe that he was hurrying through the dark street and fell into the river by accident. There was no sign of violence on the body.